Welcome once again, folks, to your English Premier League betting tips and predictions for this game week. I hope you had a wonderful game week last week and you had some great results, yeah? So we're going to head straight into it this week, and with no further ado, we're going to start with Bournemouth versus Leicester City. Both teams seems to be playing some better football nowadays, and they're getting some better results. But this game, I think this one is anybody's game, to be honest with you. I think this is anybody's game. This game, Bournemouth versus Leicester City, this is anybody's game, and I wouldn't be surprised. I'm gonna go with a draw here though, for starters. It's anybody's game. That's gonna be a draw. Both teams score. In terms of a score line, I am saying in terms of the handicap system, not going to give you anything on the handicap system this time around. Right, I'm going to go with my anytime score. The usual suspects. Dominic Solanke, Kiefer Moore, if he starts, is a threat as well. Philip Billing, also Jadon Anthony can come off the bench. He can come off the bench and give you a goal as well. So those guys for Bournemouth FC. On the Leicester side of football, you have Jamie Vardy, always has a goal in him. Patson Daka also, and James Maddison, Harvey Barnes if he gets enough time. Tillemans due a goal as well. Dewsbury Hall also is due a goal. You never know. Castagna always has a goal in him, so those are the guys that can score. But for me, my anytime goal scorer for this week, for this game, I am going to go with one Mr. Jamie Vardy. Alright, I'm gonna go with Jamie Vardy to be my anytime goal scorer in this game. Yeah, that's just my prediction here. Yeah, so recapping my predictions for the Bournemouth versus Leicester City game, I'm expecting a draw here. I'm expecting both teams to score. And in terms of a scoreline, I am saying 2-all. And in terms of my anytime goal scorer, I'm gonna go with Jamie Vardy. Okay. Alright then, so those are my predictions for the Bournemouth versus Leicester City game, and I'm going to hand back over to the guy that usually gives you these predictions. I just stole the microphone from him. Alright. Oh, sorry about that, folks. I just lost a little bit. What they call it, alter ego, total madness. Yeah. Anyways, Chelsea versus Wolverhampton. Wolverhampton have fired their coach. So they are now looking for a new coach. But I do think that they're still going to be a tough team to beat, and hence the reason why I think it's not going to be easy for Chelsea here against Wolverhampton. Chelsea playing today against AC Milan, a very good team, and so that should give Graham Potter a good sight of what's to come in terms of his options going forward. He has some injury concerns in his squad, but I think he has a very good forward line and a good midfield. He just needs to get them players playing well. Ziyech, Pulisic, Kai Havertz, Loftus-Cheek, good enough, yeah. Gallagher, really good player, yeah. Sterling, Aubameyang on the front line, Kai on the front line as well. Really good team, some good defenders as well. Really productive wing backs, yeah. So you never know. Chelsea have a good team. They're just, well, the owners need to be a little bit patient, yeah, but we know, I think the new guy is trying to replicate Ibrahimovic in a sense. No nonsense in terms of managers. You don't get results after 5 games or so, they fire you. Alright, even if you have won the Champions League, they fire you. It doesn't matter. Well, gets back to predictions. So Chelsea versus Wolverhampton. Here. I'm expecting this one should be an interesting one. I'm gonna give you some goals. I'm gonna go with goals here. I'm going to say we're going to have under 2.5 goals for this game. I strongly believe we're gonna have under 2.5 goals for this game. Under 2.5 goals, both teams to score. I'd say no. Predicted scoreline. I'm gonna go straight to my predicted scoreline. I'm going to give Chelsea here to win this one by 2 goals. All right. In terms of the handicap system, you can always go and I'll take Chelsea to win this one by a goal. Anytime goal scorer, Aubameyang, Sterling, Kai, Gallagher, Mason Mount, Jorginho. Yeah, all of those guys can come up and give you a goal at any point. Yeah. Cucurella, if he's fit enough, he can come on and give you an assist. Also, yeah, all of those guys. Diego Costa, he might end up starting this game this weekend, so you never know. So he's a goal container as well. He's a guy who knows where the goal is. He used to play for Chelsea. Might want to prove a point against them as well. You never know. So Diego Costa is also on the list as well. Gears, you have to watch out for him as well. Podence, I doubt Neta might be playing. Traore might play, but he will not start. Mateus, Moutinho haven't scored in a while. And also we have what's his name again? I'm looking for the guy. He played at centre back last game. He's also a good goal. He's a guy who can pop up and score on you as well. Yeah, I'm trying to remember his name. Neves. Yes, Neves. Neves also. But my anytime goal scorer for this game, I'm going to take my anytime goal scorer from Chelsea, and that guy is going to be Raheem Sterling. I'm going to go with Raheem Sterling, my anytime goal scorer for this game. Recapping Chelsea versus Wolverhampton. I'm expecting under 2.5 goals. I'm expecting both teams not to score. Predicted scoreline 2-0 in favor of Chelsea. I'll take Chelsea on the handicap system as well to win by a goal. And my anytime goal scorer, I'm going to say Raheem Sterling. Outside of that, it's Mason Mount or Aubameyang, I believe. Alright, moving on to our next game. And our next game is Manchester City versus Southampton. And we come up on a guy who can't stop scoring goals. Saw some numbers for him this week, and they're saying if he should play all the games in all the competitions this season, then he could end up with almost over 100 goals. That's frightening. That's frightening. That's machine-like. Anyways, let's jump into the predictions. So, City at home expects City to win. Both teams to score. I'm going to say yes. Both teams are going to score, but I still do expect City to win this game. All right, then. So, both teams to score and City to win. Yeah. So that's my combination back there. Yeah. In terms of scoreline, I'm going with 3-1 in favor of City. On the handicap system, if you don't want to bet, I can always go with City to win by a goal. You're not going to get much. There's about $1.20. Let's see, well, $1.37. That's good. Anytime goal scorer, Erwin Haaland at the top of everybody's list. Julian Alvarez, he might get the game because City is playing Champions League today. Yes, they're playing Champions League today. They're playing at home though. That's good for them though. They don't have to travel. Playing against Copenhagen at home today. Anyways, Julian Alvarez, Phil Foden, De Bruyne is due a goal. He's due a goal, man. Gundogan is also, this boy has got goals in him as well. Bernardo Silva, all those guys. Consuelo, yeah, you can't count that guy out as well. Also on the southern side of the ball, you have Shea Adams, you have Ward-Prowse, and you have Adam Armstrong, and yeah, those guys can give you a goal at any point. But for me, I'm going to go here my anytime goal scorer for in this game. I'm going to go with Gundogan. I'm going to go with Gundogan. Gundogan haven't scored in a while, so I'm going to go with Gundogan. And outside of that, I'll go with Bernardo Silva. And the obvious choice of Erwin Haaland. He's due to score anytime as well. You never know. Alright, recapping predictions for Manchester City versus Southampton. I'm expecting Manchester City to win. Both teams to score. I say yes. In terms of a combination bet, I'm going here with either team to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline 3-1 in favor of City, and on the handicap system, I'm taking City to win by a goal. And my anytime goal scorer for this game, I'm going with Gundogan. All right, from Manchester City. And now we move on over to our next game, which is Newcastle versus Brentford. And this game is going to be an interesting one for me. Most of us would be expecting Newcastle to win this one, but I do believe that Brentford can surprise them, and you never know with Brentford. They haven't been having the best results of late. Well, they had a clean sheet in the last game. Did manage to score against Bournemouth. Bournemouth did manage to score against Amida. But you never know with Brentford. Brentford is somewhat unpredictable in a sense, yeah. And so therefore, none of these teams are playing in Europe. They haven't played any games this week, apart from the squad games. Let's get back straight into the predictions. For this game here, I am looking here and I'm going to say here now, I am expecting both teams to score. both teams to score here. I'm going with a double chance, either to win and both to score. Wilson is back also. Ivan Toney is in good form for Brentford. Alright, the usual suspects are there at Brentford. Yeah, defensively Newcastle is a very good team, so it's not easy to beat Newcastle. Yeah, so but I'm looking here and I'm tempted to take Brentford to win this one though, because know what Brentford can do, and the English league is so unpredictable. It's hence the reason why persons say that's the reason why persons are more attracted to it. But because it's unpredictable. It's not only English league that's unpredictable when it comes down to certain things. Yeah, when it comes down to the week by week games, that is. In terms of the winners, it's a little bit different. But yeah, well, City have won the last 4 out of 5 seasons, so that's why. So it's a little bit similar to what you have in La Liga in terms of the winner. Yeah, and in Germany, yes. But anyways, the correct scoreline, I'm going to come here. I'm going to take here Brentford to win this one 2-0, 2-1 rather. Sorry, my humblest apologies. On the handicap system, if I were to take a bet on the handicap system, I would go and I would take Brentford -1. I'm going to take here a draw. Alright, anytime goal scorer for me in this game. As I said, Callum Wilson is back. Alan St. Maximum, I don't know if he's back from injuries yet. Almiron is there as well. Guimaraes is still a goal. He has not scored this season, if memory serves me correctly. He's yet to score. Don't know if Isak is fully back as yet. If he's back and if he gets a game, then he can score as well. For Brentford, you have Ivan Toney, you have Wissa, you have Mbuma, you have Canas, you have Da Silva, you have Janelt. All of those guys can come on and score. In terms of defenders, Ben Mee, Rico Henry, any of those guys can score. But for me, my anytime goal scorer for this week, I'm going to take my anytime goal scorer from the home team, and I'm going to go with I'm going to go with Miguel Almiron be my anytime goal scorer for this week in this game. So recapping predictions for the Newcastle versus Brentford game, I'm expecting both teams to score. In terms of a combination, I'd say either to win and both to score, yes. In terms of predicted scoreline, I said 2-1 in favor of Brentford. And on the handicap system, if we want to go that route, I'll take a draw, and that is -1. That is for Brentford to win by a goal. I take a draw there. And also in terms of my anytime goal scorer, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to give Miguel Almiron to continue on his scoring ways, and he should score at any point in this game based on here. Well, I'm telling you here, that's what is going to happen in that game this week. So let's jump on to our next game, and our next game is Brighton versus Spurs. Now this one is I'm going to use the term unpredictable based on how Spurs have been playing, but we both know that it depends on the team that turns up on the day. It's anybody's game. Brighton is not easy to beat. They are not easy to beat, and you side against Liverpool, you side against Manchester United. Well, let's not say Manchester United, because Manchester United is not in the class of some of these teams of late. Yeah. So hence the reason why it's going to be an interesting one. This one is going to be an interesting one, I do believe. It's going to be an interesting one, and based on how these guys, they have been limping along, and I'm going to go with Brighton to win this one. Brighton to win, both teams to score. In terms of a combination, I'd say either to win and both to score. Alright, predicted scoreline, I'm going to come here and I'm going to take 3-1 for Brighton. If you want to go on the handicap system, you can always go on the handicap system and take Brighton to win by a goal. Alright, in terms of my anytime goal scorer, I have here Welbeck. He can score, trust that as well. McAllister, we have Pascal Gross as well, who can score. You never know with those guys, all those guys can score. And in terms of Spurs, you have Keane, you have Son Heung-min, you have Richarlison, you have who is next there? You have yeah, those guys. Any of those guys can score. Alright, so but for me here, I'm going to go here and I'm going to take Richarlison to be my anytime goal scorer here for this game. Richarlison to be my anytime goal scorer. So recapping predictions for the Brighton versus Spurs game, I'm expecting based on my first prediction here, I'm saying a combination here. I'm expecting Brighton to win. I'm expecting both teams to score. In terms of a combination, I say either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline 3-1 in favor of Brighton, and my anytime goal scorer is Richarlison. So to our next game, which is Crystal Palace versus Leeds. Crystal Palace versus Leeds. This is going to be an interesting game, I do believe, folks. I think it's going to be one of the most interesting games this week in the English Premiership. It's going to be very interesting. But I love what Patrick Vieira is doing with Palace. Also, Leeds they're hanging in there. They're doing fair enough. Hard-working team, and so you can't count them out much. Yeah, cannot count them out much. In terms of Brentford is back. They haven't been doing too bad with what they have there up front. Jesse Marsh has been doing well with what he has. A new set of players. Well, some of them are new. Not everyone is new, but anyway. So anyways, we're gonna start here, and I'm going to say both teams to score. In terms of a combination, I'm going to go with either team to win and both to score. Also, predict scoreline for this game. I am going to say 2-1 in favor of Crystal Palace. And it could easily be 2-1 in favor of Leeds as well, as I say I said about this game. Alright, so jump on over to my anytime goal scorer, Wilfried Zaha. I do expect this guy to score. Mateta, if he starts, Eduardo, he's usually a good goal scorer, but he has not found that form since he came to the English Premiership, unfortunately. Elise, Eze, all of those guys, Jordan Ayew, yes, all of those guys can score a goal for you. Yeah. In terms of Leeds, you have Brentford. If he starts, Rodrigo is back. I don't know how many minutes he's going to get in this game, but he's back, and he got injured when he was on really good form. But I think he's going to need maybe about 3 or 4 games to find back that sort of pace. But he could score as well. He started really well. Jack Harrison as well, so can score. So you never know. Aronson as well. All of those guys can come on and score a goal for you. But you never know. Alright, so I'm, in terms of anytime goal scorer, I'm going to go here with Wilfried Zaha. That's my anytime goal scorer. So Wilfried Zaha is my anytime goal scorer in this game. So predictions for the Crystal Palace versus Leeds game, I'm expecting both teams to score. In terms of combination bet, I'd say either to score and both to win. Either to score and either to win and both to score. Alright, predicted scoreline 2-1 in favor of Palace. And my anytime goal scorer is Wilfried Zaha. So those are my predictions for the Crystal Palace versus Leeds game. And we're going to jump on over to our next game, which is West Ham versus Fulham. Alright, West Ham versus Fulham. Mitrovic left the game injured last week, but I think it looks like he's going to be good for the game coming up this weekend. I'm not sure as yet. I have not checked the injury report, but West Ham, not yet the usual West Ham that you're used to, but they are good enough. They're good enough. Stamag, I think he should start again, and he should do well enough. Yeah, West Ham are doing well in Europe, but they tend to be struggling in the Premiership. They had a win the last game out in the Premiership. I think they won 2-0. Yeah, I think they won 2-0. Yeah, and so but anyways, we're gonna head straight into the predictions for this game. And so West Ham versus Fulham. For this game here, I'm going to take West Ham to win. Take both teams to score. In terms of a combination, either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline for me is 3-1 in favor of West Ham. On the handicap system, I would go ahead and also take West Ham to win by a goal. West Ham to win by a goal, that's $2.90. That's lovely. In terms of anytime goal scorer, with Stamaka, Antonio, Bowen, Corney is injured. Saeed Benarama, I haven't seen him in a while since new guys came in. He has gotten sidelined somewhat. So Souček, the guy who always has a goal in him as well, you look for a goal from him as well. Mitrovic, if he's pleased, he can score. He should be the leading scorer. Vinicius, not sure about that guy. Not sure about him. Bobby Reed, good worker. Also Andreas Pereira, And William, if William starts, he's usually a good free kick taker, so he can score as well. But my anytime goal scorer is going to come from West Ham, and I'm going to go with Gerard Bowen to be my anytime goal scorer. Yes, so Gerard Bowen to be my anytime goal scorer in this game. So recapping predictions for the West Ham versus Fulham game, I'm expecting West Ham to win. Expecting both teams to score. In terms of a combination bet, I would say either team to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline 3-1 in favor of West Ham. On the handicap system also, I'll take West Ham to win by a goal, and my anytime goal scorer would be Gerard Bowen. Alright. Sorry about that, my humblest apologies. Moving on to our next game, and now our next game is Arsenal versus Liverpool. Liverpool. Yeah. They had a 2-0 win this week against Rangers in the Champions League. Arsenal will be playing in the Europa League, I think, Thursday. I think they play at home against Budland from Norway. So they are playing after Liverpool. So barring any major injuries for either team, it should be an even contest over the weekend. And but I do expect this one is going to be an interesting one, and this one is anybody's game, to be honest with you. This is anybody's game. I wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal win, and I'm not putting it past Liverpool to come here and take the victory from Arsenal. Alright, so let's head straight into the prediction. I'm going to get straight into it. I'm going to take Liverpool to win this one. Alright, take Liverpool to win. Both teams to score, I'm going to say yes. In terms of a combination bet, either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline for me, 2-1 in favor of Liverpool. Anytime goal scorer, usual suspects. From Arsenal, Jesus, Martinelli, Saka, Odegaard, who else is here? Nketiah won't get enough time, yeah? So I'm not going to involve, but if Nketiah gets enough time, he could score as well. On the Liverpool side of football, the usual suspect, Mohamed Salah, Jota, for me, Firmino, Luis Diaz, Nunez, depends on the amount of time he gets, he could score as well. I think he's going to come better next season, or maybe after the World Cup he's going to come better. But at the time, for the time being, he seems to be struggling. Seems to be struggling somewhat to find form. He's in a bad spot, but you never know. Yeah, he can come and score at any point too. Jota, I think Jota. I don't know. I like Jota as a player. Jota was my guy before you had Darwin Núñez. No, not Darwin Núñez. Before you had Luis Diaz. But I think Jota is starting ahead. I think Jota is going to start ahead of Luis Diaz, Núñez, and Firmino also might start ahead of them. So my anytime goal scorer in this game, I'm going to go with Roberto Firmino. Outside of Firmino, I'll go with either Salah or Jota or Núñez. No, not Núñez, Diaz, Luis Diaz. Alright. So recapping predictions for the Arsenal versus Liverpool game, I'm expecting Liverpool to win this one, both teams to score as well. And in terms of a combination bet, I say either team to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline 2-1 in favor of Liverpool. And my anytime goal scorer for this game is the one Roberto Firmino. Alright, let's jump on over to our next game. And our next game is Everton versus Manchester United, and this one should be interesting somewhat based on how Everton has been playing, and I do believe that it should be an interesting one. I don't think we're going to get a lot of goals in this game. We're not going to get a lot of goals in this game, I believe, and hence another reason why it could be anybody's game. It could be anybody's game. I think it could be anybody's game, yeah? It could be anybody's game. Manchester United managed to find 3 goals mind you, they're like, well, I don't know. It's like 3 goals that you never expect them to find. It's like they happen fortuitously. They happen by chance. Yeah, that's the word. That's the phrase. They happen by chance. Yes, you might be saying, yeah, every goal you have to create a chance to score. Yeah, no, that's not what I mean. They just happen. They're like, in Jamaica would say them a buck up goal. You know what I mean? So yeah, they were well taken though. Mind you, I'm a Manchester United fan, but yeah. So this isn't about this game, to be honest. With the back to it, this isn't about this game, and I'm gonna go with a draw here though. I'm gonna go with a draw. I believe it's about this game though. Both teams to score, yeah. In terms of predicted scoreline, I'm going to come here. I'm going to say 1-1 draw. Anytime goal scorer, I'm going to go here. Have the usual suspects. I'm not sure if Calvert-Lewin is back. Mope, Garden did not start last game, and so you never know. Demarai Griswell, Dwight McNeil, always like the guy. He came on and he scored last week, so he's on the list of anybody. He's somebody who scored an point in this game as well. In terms of Manchester United, it depends on how much time Cristiano gets. He looks a little bit off color though. He could score as well. Rashford will get chances, but he needs to find back his scoring boots. I think he needs to spend at least an hour each training session working on his finishing. Yeah, and if he does that, I think that by the end of the season he could end up with maybe about 18 goals or so for the team in the Premiership. Yeah, because he's going to get a lot of opportunities. All right, so Martial is back as well, so Martial could score as well too. Yeah, Anthony could, but I think he's going to be more of a provider. Bruno Fernandes, yes, could score as well. Also Jadon Sancho, depends on the amount of time he gets, he could score as well. But my end time goal scorer for this game, I am going to go with I'm going to come here and I'm going to go with based on how things work out, I think Martial might start, and if Martial starts, I do believe he's going to score. I'm going to take Martial as my anytime goal scorer in this game against Everton. Alright, so recapping predictions for the Everton versus Manchester United game. This game being played at Everton's home. I'm expecting a draw here. Expecting both teams to score. Predicted scoreline 1-1, and my anytime goal scorer is Anthony Martial. Alright, so and on to our next game, which is the final game of this game week. Alright, final game of this game week, and this is Nottingham Forest versus Aston Villa. Nottingham Forest versus Aston Villa here. For this game is also a game that's anybody's game, to be honest with you. Anybody's game. This is anybody's game. Aston, I think I wouldn't be surprised. Well, I haven't checked the news. I'm supposed to check. I think if they have not fired their coach, Nottingham Forest, that is, I think if they lose this weekend, I think they're going to fire him. Yeah, I think I don't know what the situation is. Maybe, as some analysts are saying, you have way too many players, and the players came in. Everybody came in sort of late. They didn't have a preseason with those players, and so what's happening now? They seem to be struggling to gel, and so yeah. What is it about this game? I'm expecting both teams to score. Henderson, a very good goalkeeper. I have him on my fantasy team, but he has been letting me down for a couple of weeks now. But you'd be surprised where he's in. I think he's about third on the table in terms of the best goalkeeper in the league so far. You'd be surprised with the results they have had, and he's third. Yeah, so I think he's about third. He might be higher than that. You never know. He might be higher than that. But anyways, I'm expecting both teams to score. In terms of a double chance, I'd say either to win and both to score. Not double chance, combination. I continue to say double chance. Bear with me, folks. You know that these are combination bets, not double chance. Right. In terms of predicted scoreline, I am looking here, and I do believe that based on the unpredictable nature of this game, man, it's very unpredictable. I'm going to go with Nottingham Forest. Their backs are against the wall. They should come out fighting. Gerrard is not going to take it easy either, because he's feeling the pinch a bit. He's feeling the pressure a bit too, so he's going to want to win. I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to take Nottingham Forest to win this 1-2-1. Yeah? Take Nottingham Forest to win this 1-2-1. On the handicap system, I'm going to go here and I'm going to take Aston Villa. Aston Villa here. I'm going to take Aston Villa +1. Alright, not to lose by no more than a goal if they do. Alright, so in terms of anytime goal scorers, sorry about that, folks. Little noise in the background there. Anytime goal scorers, Brian Johnson, Lingard overdue a goal. Gibbs White also could score, yeah. And you never know what you can get from this guy Awani. He scored as well, hit the upright in the last game. In terms of Aston Villa, you have Oli Watkins, you have Buendia, you have Bailey, you have Ramsey, you have David Luiz. No, not David Luiz, Douglas Luiz, both from Brazil. Yeah, any of these guys can score in this game, and so therefore for me, I'm going to take my anytime goal scorer from Aston Villa, and I'm going to go with I'm going to go here with Buendia to score at any point in this game. I'm going to go with Buendia to score at any point in this game. So recapping predictions for the Nottingham Forest versus Aston Villa game. I'm expecting both teams to score. In terms of the combination bet, I say either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline 2-1 in favor of Nottingham Forest. And also in terms of a handicap system, I go with Aston Villa at +1. Alright. And in terms of my anytime goal scorer, I am going to say Buendia, Emiliano Buendia, to score at any point in this game. Otherwise, I think Leon Bailey could score, or Jacob Ramsey is also due a goal as well. He could score as well. On the far side of the football, you have Johnson. Johnson could score as well. Any of those guys. Yeah, but those are my predictions for the Nottingham Forest versus Aston Villa game. And that's how the cookie crumbles this week for the English Premiership. So I hope that you have a really great week this week in terms of bets and results, and I hope that everything goes your way. So thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel, share this video with your friends, and share it on your social media pages, and get persons coming in and watching my video so that my viewership can go up and my subscribership can go up, and I continue to produce these videos for you and give you tips and the tricks to a winning betting slip on a weekly basis. All right, thank you for your time and have a great weekend. Thanks.